Okay, so this is who we are and why we're here. Part 2. If you're listening to this, you've probably already listened to part 1 where I gave a summary, a synopsis of my theory about who we are and why we're here. Now, I know that there are many, many versions of this, and I think it's very important for us to realize that we each are here to perform our mission. So the information that we have is the information that we need, that needs to come into our awareness, into our morphic field, is very specific and it's very subjective. So the information that I'm giving you, that I'm describing, the understandings that I have come to, they don't have to be the ones that you have come to. And it doesn't mean that I'm wrong or you're wrong. It just means that it's not necessary to the furtherance of your mission. That's all that it means. If it doesn't resonate with you, or if it's completely contrary to what you have decided is the truth, that's cool, man. Hold on to that. Don't listen. Throw away the parts that don't resonate with you. And that goes for everybody. Throw that shit away, man. Okay. You know what? That made me feel funny. I don't believe that. Okay. Throw it in the trash. Take out the parts that do resonate with you. And if none of it resonates with you, that's okay too. Because what we're doing here, each person has a specific purpose and a specific mission. I am going to refer to it as a mission. I am very technical in my thinking, and I like to be concise as much when and where as possible. And I do see this us being here. And when I say us and we, let me explain what I mean by that. It's highly likely that if you're listening to this video, you are included in the us and we that I'm referring to. Chances are Joe, the NPC from down the street, who has been working at the post office for the last 30 years, steps out his front door at 8:15 every morning, walks back in at 4:45, stopped at the same coffee shop on the way to work, gets his coffee black, one sugar, same thing every single day. They just, do what they're doing, come home, they don't question anything, they don't rock the boat, they don't think outside the box, they just run the program. If you are Joe, we're just going to call those kinds of people Joe right now. No offense if your name is Joe. I know some really cool fucking Joes. Then you probably, if it's a Joe, you're probably not even listening to this video unless somebody made you do it, in which case you might think I'm batshit crazy. But let me tell you this. I don't apologize at all for the conclusions that I've drawn. I have earned this wisdom and this knowledge. And I was apologetic for who I was for the first probably 38 years of my life. I am no longer going to be apologetic for who I am. If you think that what I'm saying is completely batshit, that's cool. I love you. I respect you. I still want the very best for you. You just don't have to listen to what I have to say. In fact, I would recommend that you don't, because if you interpret it as being crazy, you aren't ready for the information, and that's also not an insult. That's just the fact. So, those of us who are here on our mission, as I said in part 1, we're likely here to free our fam, free our brothers and sisters. And again, they may not be the same exact race or from the same star system that we are, but it doesn't matter. We're just here because we saw shit going down here and it was like, whoa, hold on. Something's got to stop. It's got to stop. So you came down here on your mission. You're going to need certain data, and you're going to be getting this information as needed. Some of the information that you need specific to your mission is going to come through your seeking. It's going to come through hearing other people speak. It's going to come from reading books. And some of it's just going to get downloaded. I mean, when I say download, what I'm referring to is this thing that happens. That probably, again, if you're listening to this, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Where it's basically like You didn't know something 2 seconds ago, and now you know every detail about that thing. It's like, it literally feels like a download. Like something comes over you, and I don't know if you, if you've ever seen that, So Raven, but they zoom in on her eyes, like, and she gets this moment where she has like a moment of clarity. And that's very similar to how downloads are. You just have a moment where something drops down into your awareness, and it's not just information, it's information with a certain vibration, with a resonance that matches you perfectly. And so when you get the information, you know beyond any doubt that what you're seeing, what you're downloading, what you're perceiving it's a fact. And no one can tell you different. And most of the time, it's about things that, that you've had long held ideas about. For instance, one that I had was about trees. Okay. One of the first few downloads I got when I started waking up was about trees. And I knew in an instant, I downloaded that trees actually communicate with each other across the planet. Their root systems are actually communication lines, and that they report the conditions to each other. The trees know everything that's going on this planet, and they also watch over people, and they even have some favorite people. They are sentient, they're aware, they are protective, they do not like to be destroyed. And of course, for me, that was just so out there at that time, because I wasn't near about where I am now in my revelations. And when I got this download, I was like, no, it just did. My mind was like, no, trees literally, they're just trees, dude. They just stand there. That's what I had in my head my whole life. And when I got this download, I knew positively that, yeah, these trees do. They communicate. They are sentient. They're part of like the Earth Army. They look after us. They love us. They love humanity. And so it was like, I stepped back from that download, and I was like, man, I don't know. Even though it felt so assured inside of my belly, it was still hard for me to really wrap my head around that one. It was hard for me to believe. For a while, I was questioning my own sanity, and you might have been doing that as well. But that's why I'm taking the time to make this video, because I want you to know that you're not alone, and you're not crazy. You aren't losing your mind. You're waking up. And if it hadn't been for other people being as wise and as bold as they were, I would probably still be questioning my sanity right now too. So someone did this exact thing, and I came across it. Someone did this exact thing for me. So I would like to give that gift to whoever comes across this information. So that's why I'm doing it. So you're here. We realize why we're here. We're here on a mission. We're getting this information. We're getting downloads. What do you do with it? What do we do now? Well, I would like to give you some long, drawn out, complicated, convoluted, mission plan. And that's what I thought it would be. But the more seeking I do, the more I understand that what you're here to do is to shine. You're here to raise the vibration of the planet. So you will hear me talk about shining a lot. And I know I'm not specifically referring to the Stephen King book, although let me tell you something, Stephen King knows about the shine. Stephen King he knows what the fuck's up in this world. He has been telling us in his own way, making a shit ton of money while he's doing it. I don't know if he's a good guy, bad guy, or if he just doesn't give a shit either way. He's just giving us the information and letting us do whatever we want with it. I don't know if maybe he's downloading it just like I download things, and it's coming through him and he's writing it and he doesn't realize that he's telling the truth. I don't know. Don't care. It doesn't matter. All I know is that he's been giving us some really, inside information. And he is referring, I'm not referring to his book, but he is referring to the shine that I am referring to. And that is, it's the little, it's something inside of you that it's what the ancients drew, old artists, painters drew around the holy people, so-called holy people. You know, they drew a halo, or they drew like something. It looks like they shine, like, you know, they squiggles of light around them. It's not always a physical light that can be seen with rods and cones inside of a human eyeball, but it is something that is perceived, and it's perceived by those with who are attuned enough to be able to pick up on that thing. And when you shine, basically you keep yourself in a high state of mind. You don't drop down into the lower three chakras attitudes, where basically the lower three chakras where you don't shine is when you're, you know, you're worried, you're sad, you're depressed, you're fearful, you're angry, you're just thinking about, you know, all the things of this world, the food, like, you know, you're worried about your, you know, you're not going to be able to afford, you know, food, or, you know, there might be a cataclysm someday, and you're just down there in the lower realms, kind of really wrapped up in the things that are going on in this world, whether your team won or lost this week. You know, Betty down the hall gave you a dirty look when you walk past, and that's all you think about all day. And then someone cuts you off in traffic, and then you're pissed off about it, and it takes you till 10, 11 o'clock to get over being mad. That's the kind of thing. That's a 3D, lower three chakras. It's interesting that it's 3D in the lower three chakras. But that's the kind of like low vibrational thing that most people do. What we are here to do is to rise above those things and to emit a light, emit a frequency that is high above those things to help pull everybody else up with us. So where someone, and I used to be that, would scream at people, you know, in traffic and all that, get mad at dumb little things. Believe me, I'm not being preachy. God knows I've just, if it could be fucked up, I fucked it up. If it was, you know, if it was low vibrational, I did it. Believe me. But now that I understand my particular mission and my work here on earth, I watch my vibration like you watch your gas tank needle. And if I find myself in those lower mindsets, I find something to do to bring myself out of it. So maybe traffic is shitty, but I got my radio turned up. I'm dancing. I'm singing in my car. I'm shining. I'm doing whatever it takes to fill my chest with love and joy and peace and charisma and hope and purpose. I am bringing that shit up because I am shining. And let me tell you about your shine. It's powerful. Just like when you turn a light on and it illuminates. It's just a little bitty bulb, but it illuminates the whole room. That's what your shine does. Your shine illuminates everything around you. It is a vibration. It cannot be seen, but it can be felt. It can be perceived. And when you shine and you emit that high vibrational, those higher vibrational feelings, when you emit the vibration that feeling causes, your light communicates with the DNA of the people in your energy field. So they may not ever, you know, let's go back to Betty in the office. I don't have a Betty, but that's just the first name that came to me. Betty in the office, you may have never been able to share your truths about the world, how we're under a false matrix and how, you know, there's an ancient parasite feeding on us and all that shit. You never, of course, you wouldn't say that to Betty. But suddenly Betty starts coming in. She shines a little more. You find her complaining a little bit less. You see her smiling a little bit more. You start to see hope and life in her eyes, where when you first got there, she was just a zombie. I have personally experienced this multiple times. That's how I know that the shine is affecting other people. I've also had other people say outright, you woke me up. Your shine. Your shine woke me up. I felt it, I saw it, I perceived it. And because they already had their own shine and this was kind of something they already were kind of into and aware of, it came, it affected them and they knew what was happening. And they told me so. I'm going to try to cut this off and not talk forever. But as far as who we are and why we're here, you're here to shine. And that's how you complete your mission. Yes, get knowledge. Yes, get wisdom. Yes, seek for information. Yes, try to see the bad things. You have to look at the bad things so you can shine a light on it. You have to be aware of and acknowledge the darkness. But it's not to do it with hate or fear or anger. You just say, that's dark. I'm light. I am going to scatter that darkness with my light. You recognize the dark for what it is. You realize it's happening, and then you shine your light on it and keep on moving. And then you keep your light shining as bright as you can, and then you shine it on the next dark thing that you come across. It is really not a complicated mission. I promise you, if you just choose every day to shine, emit the brightest light from your heart space that you possibly can, I swear to you, I promise you, you will be on the right track. There's no confusion. There's no, should I be doing this or that or the other thing? Don't worry about it. Shine. And when you do that, then you fall into that stream of consciousness and stream of energy that it was put here for you. And then you will get in that current and you will find yourself going down the appropriate stream of consciousness for your mission. And it'll take you wherever you need to be, whenever you need to be there. So I just want to encourage you. Yeah, the situation we found ourselves in is pretty shitty. But like I said, acknowledge the shittiness, shine your light on it, and watch what you manifest. Watch how you literally change the world. I love you guys.